Welcome back to Movie and Blender and the start of one of our new segments, only on Netflix. See, Netflix has become a staple in our modern times, much like MTV and Fox News. And like those things, it's ripe for parody. We're going to start you off slow and easy with 3 movies that are based on Nazis. This might have been a mistake.
Crap.
From the dark side of the moon, and we come in peace.
Wir sehen uns in Valhalla.
The first movie that we watched is probably the most well-known of the 3, and it is a movie called Iron Sky, which you might know was just a sort of a concept trailer a few years back about Nazis on the moon. Well, they've made it a whole movie based on that trailer. And Iron Sky was probably the one that I was most excited to watch because it's Nazis on the moon. Nazis left Earth at the end of World War II and have been living on the dark side of the moon for 60 years. And the whole movie is basically them invading Earth, but this movie had to be the most disappointing one that we watched.
The problem with this movie is that it had so much potential, but it just fell to the wayside because it got too bogged down in social satire and politics.
Yeah.
What was a fun idea of Nazis invading Earth, or even Earth invading the moon, became just nothing but political fodder. It's just, what if Sarah Palin was the president?
Who are these guys anyway?
Nazis from the moon.
Wouldn't that be funny?
What if Nazis turned a black guy into a white guy? What would happen?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, this movie was trying so hard to be Dr. Strangelove. There's even multiple scenes with them at the UN, and it's straight out of Dr. Strangelove with all the nations arguing and stuff, and Sarah Palin leading the United Nations.
That's too much.
Oh, it's just awful. It's not funny or provocative at all.
And they really had a cool concept of one of the Nazi teachers on the moon doesn't realize that Nazis are bad. She doesn't understand what Nazis really stand for. To her, Nazism was just an idea that was rejected on Earth, so they had to take it to the moon. So it would have been really interesting to see if, Earth finds out there's Nazis on the moon, so we go attack the Nazis on the moon, not knowing that they're different from how they were on Earth.
Right.
And that could have been really interesting of, who's the real monster here kind of situation.
Yeah.
But instead they just go, Nazis are indefinitely evil, they have futuristic technology, even though they're on the moon from the 40s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and spaceship fights, there's every ship in the United Nations has equipped robot arms and machine guns to fight the Nazis in space, well before they even know there's Nazis in space.
Question is, what do y'all plan to do about it? Because we just happen to have a little something up our own sleeve.
Yeah. And they put a fashion designer in charge of the entire fleet. I don't know what...
Yeah.
The movie was off the rails at this point, so we didn't really think about it at the time, but they have this fleet of ships that they're going to send up to go fight the Nazis, and they put a fashion designer in charge of the fleet, and she shows up in a battle uniform and starts oh my, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it went over the top, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
So that brought us to our next thing, which is going to be Nazis at the center of the Earth.
Yes.
We prepare to take back our rightful place as the masters of this world.
Now, this movie is an asylum film, so you can tell that it's top notch. It really is.
Yeah.
The problem, I would say, with Nazis at the Center of the Earth is it is really mean. It's a really, really mean movie.
Yeah.
Like, whoever... Asylum is not known for having a lot of passion behind their movies. They just do it to get the money.
Yeah.
Somebody was really passionate about showing how evil Nazis were.
There was a lot of like just unnecessary stuff in this movie. There's a zombie Nazi gang rape scene or eating something's happening to
involving a woman.
naked woman.
Yeah.
What else was there? Oh man, there is a abortion scene in this movie, a vacuum abortion scene in this movie, and I'm not a squeamish person, but that was way over the line for me.
Yeah, that it went pretty far.
Yeah.
And then it had the gall to turn wacky with reanimated Hitler head on robot body,
which is why they had the abortion, because they were going to use stem cells to resurrect Hitler as a head in a jar robot, which it totally happened. That happened in this movie.
They fight Robo Hitler in a giant UFO.
Yes,
that happens.
My favorite part about Robot Hitler was just every time it showed him, he didn't have a lot of lines.
No.
But every time it showed him, he was going, he was just so happy to be back.
He rebelled in every tiny victory of just like, we've seen the enemy. He's like, yeah, the enemy.
Yeah.
And it was just really bizarre. It's a mixture of gory, slapstick, and boring.
Yeah.
There was just long a stretch of just nothing happening, and then boom, somebody gets their face torn off, and then zombie Nazis fall down.
Yeah.
So it was the tonal shift was everywhere.
Yeah. And I really like that zombie robot Hitler was way into like just getting stuff done, because at one point one of the guys like runs away and escapes, and they're like, "Oh, stop him!" And zombie Hitler's like, "I got this," and he like flies over to the guy and then like cuts he cuts his head off with like a circle saw thing. So he's just very involved in the goings on.
Pretty much. So I don't recommend it.
I would definitely not recommend this movie.
But that brings us to our third installment.
Yes.
Surf Nazis Must Die.
Sometime in the near future, a major earthquake will lay waste to the entire California coastline. From out of the rubble will rise a menace far more terrifying than the death and destruction. Surf Nazis. Who rules the beaches? Who rules the surfers? The beautiful beaches, once the crown jewels of California, are now ruled by ruthless gangs. And the gangs are ruled by the surf Nazis. Surf Nazis must die.
Now this is I believe it's a trauma film, and boy, can you tell.
Yes.
The wackiness is bam over this chart, off the scale.
They're devastating the designer wave. The beaches are no longer safe to hang around.
I haven't seen a lot of Nazi-sploitation movies, but this has got to be the wackiest. Hell, okay, so in Surf Nazis Must Die, it tells the story of a teenage, early 20s surf gang that are Nazis.
It was the kind of gangs that were really big in like 80s movies.
Yeah.
There was always the Mohawk gang or the Piercings gang, but now it's the Nazis gang.
The Nazis gang. And they've got a guy that looks like Freddie Mercury as their leader, but he goes by Adolf. And they've got their Mengele, and then they've got, I think Adolf's girlfriend's name is Eva, yeah. And then everyone else doesn't have famous Nazi names. It's like Hook and
it's Hook and Smeg.
Smeg and
So you can really break down Surf Nazis into two movies. The first half is Surf Nazis running rampage.
Yes.
It's just them doing weird things.
Yeah.
Like they fight other gangs, but all the gangs are composed of 5 people.
Yeah.
It's 5 people gangs have taken over the California coastline.
There's like a cap on the number of people you can have in your gang. Seriously, all the gangs have a maximum of 5 people. And there's a gang of like the tie-dye guys, and there's the beard guys, then there's the
Japanese samurai guys.
Japanese samurai, and then there's a gang that is all like 12-year-olds on skateboards. I'm not sure how they're competing with the rest of these gangs. And then there's the biker guy as well, the guy from ZZ Top.
ZZ
Top
Top
was
guy.
involved a little bit.
So that was the first half. The second half is it's Medea's revenge story. There is throughout the movie you see this elderly portly black woman as she's kind of enjoying her retirement until her son gets killed
by the surf Nazis.
So now it's time for them to die.
Yes.
So she goes buying a gun, buying a grenade, and she turns it into a revenge movie.
She slaughters the surf Nazis. It's not even a fight.
No, it's not even a fight. She railroads them.
Yeah.
And so we were like, when we were watching this movie, and we'd just keep cutting back to her just doing her daily stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, is she gonna be the hero? There's no way. It's gotta be her son or somebody else. No, it is her.
It's her. Well, we were talking, and I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if this old lady like ended up killing the surf Nazis? And you were just like, yeah, that would be so awesome. And that happens. I mean, it's honestly like it made the movie for me.
So funny.
There's one shot of her when she first starts killing the surf Nazis, and she's escaping, and she's on a motorcycle going. So it's just fantastic. Surf Nazis Must Die was the most enjoyable one of the 3.
If you like the weird kind of 80s stuff, you will love Surf Nazis Must Die.
A crappy synth soundtrack, like people just hamming it up all over the place. Adolf and Mengele especially are just like, guys, come on. It's like when Drama Club goes back. And all the camera shots, like they try to get fancy with the camera, and they have like this one scene where like Adolf and Mengele are talking, and the camera is seriously a mile away the entire time. It's just like, are we gonna have some more shots here, or just the one camera?
So that's all the Nazi movies we watched.
Yes.
So these 3 flicks, if you're ever curious, can only be found on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Until next time, movie in a blender.